WQAD News 8, this is WQAD This Week.
And good morning, and thank you for joining us for News 8 This Week. I'm David Bowman. It's been just over a year since the city of LeClaire started using speed cameras. Thousands of tickets have been sent out over that time, and News 8's Josh Lamberty explains where that money is going.
Within the limits of LeClaire, leaders face opposition.
We knew that going into this program that there are people that just are against it.
In an effort to slow drivers down, speeding tickets came quick.
They identify a violator. The cameras then take still shots of that vehicle, the license plate, as well as a short video of the offending vehicle.
LeClaire Police Chief Shane Thamus says the city issued more than 95,000 speeding tickets from March 5th, 2021 to March 5th of this year. That's from the cameras on Interstate 80 and on US 67 south of town.
The location accidents at the fixed locations of the cameras, both on Interstate 80 and Highway 67, dropped from 18 collisions in 2020 to 6 collisions in 2021 in those exact locations.
It's a decreasing pattern Thamus expects will continue.
So if it works properly, we should see an overall reduction over the next couple of years.
With so many tickets, the police department hired a community service officer to help review hundreds of citations each day.
So it's actually freed up our officers to be back out on the street rather than reviewing the citations.
It probably surprised everybody. I don't know anybody exactly knew what was going to happen.
City Administrator Dennis Bockenstedt says the financial impact is shocking too.
We've been bringing in roughly $150,000 to $200,000 a month. So it's been quite a bit of money. We're looking at a couple $1 million, like $2 million in the first year.
That $2 million is about 12% of the city of LeClaire's annual budget. The big question now is, how's the city going to spend it?
Primarily going to be used for capital projects, capital improvements such as streets, facilities, whatever is to be determined.
That could also include new fire trucks or park projects, even helping grow the local economy.
The most immediate discussion was surrounding using a portion of that funds as part of the economic development incentives for Fairway Grocery Store.
I'm 100% on board with a long-term program.
A high-profile fixture, quickly providing resources to an entire community. Josh Lamberty, WQAD News 8.
Josh Lamberty, thank you. And LeClaire City Administrator says this money won't pay salaries or fund new positions. The city hasn't spent any of the citation money, it says, yet, but the City Council is expected to take up those discussions this fall. A lawsuit has been filed against the city of Bettendorf after that deadly crash on the I-74 pedestrian path. The suit was filed by the family of Anthony Castaneda. He's one of the 2 people who died when police say an intoxicated woman drove onto the pedestrian path from the Bettendorf side last month. The lawsuit claims that Bettendorf was negligent, opening the path without barriers to keep cars out. It also claims city officials pushed to open the path despite calls to delay it from Iowa's DOT. Since then, crews have put up signs and temporary barriers. The Iowa Supreme Court has reversed a previous decision on abortion this week, now saying the state's constitution does not include a fundamental right to abortion. The ruling reverses the court's own findings from 4 years ago. Back in 2018, the state Supreme Court ruled in a 5-2 vote that the right to an abortion is guaranteed under the Iowa Constitution. The recent reversal comes after a dramatic change in the court's makeup. In the last 5 years, Governor Kim Reynolds has named 4 justices to the court, and now 6 of the 7 current justices have been appointed by a Republican governor. So what does this all mean? Well, there are still federal protections for abortion, but the Iowa Supreme Court has ruled that the state Constitution does not guarantee those same rights.
I'm past childbearing years. I'm not worried about myself, but I worry about my kids, and I worry about their kids, and I worry about my niece, and my nieces has children. And a woman having control of her own body, that seems pretty fundamental. So it's ridiculous.
We are going to continue to fight this harmful and medically unjustified restriction. So the next step in this case is for us to go back to the district court and continue our challenge under the undue burden standard.
And on the other side of this argument, the Quad City Right to Life group told News 8 in part, quote, The Iowa State Supreme Court has corrected a previous erroneous decision by rightly recognizing that there is no fundamental right to abortion in the Iowa Constitution, end quote. There were more than 4,000 abortions in Iowa in 2020. The man accused of killing a Knox County Sheriff's deputy will have a new judge now. Daylon Richardson made that request in a Henry County courtroom this week. That request for a new judge was granted. Richardson is accused of leading police on a high-speed chase back in April before he hit and killed Knox County Sheriff's deputy Nicholas Wiest. Richardson is facing charges in both Henry and Knox County. Firearm vendors from all over the country are in the Quad Cities today. News 8's Nina Burns explains why organizers are saying leave politics at the door and say this is an effort to bring like-minded people together.
Vendors are just starting to sell here at the gun show, and now we're unable to ask any questions pertaining to the current culture around gun sales, and that's because the organizer says this event isn't about politics. It's about bringing together like-minded people.
Like that would be a good gun. That little one there would be a good gun for a female's purse.
It's about bringing like-minded people together for gun show coordinator Brandon.
Bringing Second Amendment supporters together because they are trying to, like on the internet, they're trying to tear us apart. And here we can all meet and congregate.
As vendors fill well over 100 tables with guns, ammunition, and accessories.
I believe that you really can't be free, and that's what the Second Amendment states, that a well-regulated militia, which means a well-armed American population, is necessary for the security of a free state.
Despite recent calls for gun control after mass shootings across the U.S., Brandon says gun sales have only gone up.
There's a huge demand on guns and gun accessories, and there are quite a few shortages in the market right now.
And for vendor and retired police officer David, that demand is making it difficult to keep firearms and ammunition in stock.
The demand is definitely up. You got to remember you have probably, I can't tell you how many tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of new shooters that have nothing, or new people wanting a firearm to protect themselves. So they're buying twice as much.
This is advertised as a family-friendly event, and Brandon says for good reason.
It's a venue to buy, sell, and trade firearms, and kids need to be brought up in a responsible manner on how to use and safely use a firearm. And that's kind of what we're here for, is to get them introduced to firearms at a young age and be able to use them responsibly.
For anyone living on the Illinois side interested in purchasing a firearm, you still can here, but you're not going to walk away with one like an Iowa resident. Instead, you're going to need to bring your identification, your FOID card, and then wait Illinois' mandatory 72-hour hold before you can receive it. In Davenport, Nina Burns, WQAD News 8.
Nina, thank you. The gun show wraps up today at Danceland in Davenport, and adult admission is $10. It is now 10:07 on News 8 This Week. Thank you so much for being with us this morning.